Hey everyone, Emily Jackson here from Great Family Adventure, and I am in Uganda doing some gear testing, and the gear that I'm testing today is sandals. Check them out. There are very few places in this world where I like to test product to the extreme, and Uganda is one of those. There's a lot of wear and tear, a lot of mud, rain, harsh climate, and I really push it to limits. I'm walking all day, I'm on my feet. So for me, it seemed like the perfect place to come and test some sandals for my trip. So I brought 3 pairs with me, and I'm gonna walk you through them. All right, I'm gonna walk you through the first pair of sandals here. I've got the Teva Women's Original Quick Drying Sports Sandal, as they call it. So I actually bought these off Amazon. They were on sale for $39. So they're definitely the cheapest out of the 3 options that I picked here today. So for me, having one around that price point was kind of important because we can spend a lot of money getting ready for these trips, and having an option that fits along our budget is always key. So I was very excited to go ahead and test these classic Tevas here. Generally, these go for about $55. For me, the first thing that I noticed is that out of all the sandals that I picked, they have the thinnest strap. So as far as the general material, they're some of the lightest out of all 3. They do have the least amount of traction on the bottom, and I think that's where the lightweight comes from. But as someone that was walking all day, lightweight wasn't bad. It also meant that they really did dry quick. So some of the highlights for me with the Tevas was that they were small, they packed easy, they were light. So for my luggage as well, I was grateful that they were a lighter pair of shoes. And then just walking throughout town and throughout the just the roads here in Uganda, I was really grateful to have a lighter pair of shoes. For me, I have a wider foot, and I did find that the narrower sandals at times, particularly when I was dusty and dirty, the narrower straps could dig in a little bit. So when I loosened them, I didn't feel like my foot was quite as snug as I would have liked. And when I tightened them, the narrower strap was a little more uncomfortable for my super wide feet. But I have very wide feet, so that's just me. But I really like the simplicity of the Tevas. So for me, that was a huge win for these ones, as well as the quick drying. So for me, I'm constantly wet. It rained here a ton, and I was very grateful that the shoes dried, incredibly quick. So definitely a few things to know. If you go online, they have a ton of positive reviews, ton of fun colors, and yeah, they're just a great price point. So if you're looking for a super easy sandal to grab that's light, cheaper, and apparently quite durable, then check out the Tevas. All right, everyone, and here we have the Keanes. The Keanes I was excited to test because I've known Keane for a long time. They're a brand that I trust and know. And these are their new L strappy sandals. I was really excited about these because they look the most multi-functional. So for me, they look like they could be dressed up a little bit, as well as something that I would wear down by the river or just anywhere that I'm walking around here in Uganda. So for me, there's a couple of really cool things about the Keanes that I wanted to point out. They are made from a ton of recycled materials. So for me, having that, choosing where to spend my money, I was quite excited to read into Keane's policy with some of their shoes and their recycled plastic. So I thought that was really neat. Definitely had a much thicker, much stiffer sole. You notice all that Ugandan mud stuck in there. So for longer days, I thought that the thick sole was kind of nice, but the only thing that I did notice with it, as far as out of the 3, the grip strength on the rocks being thicker but not necessarily more grippy, made it so I wouldn't necessarily use these as my general river sandal, simply due to the fact that I did not feel super safe jumping from rock to rock. But if I was going out to dinner, walking around town, exploring, these were just a great option because I felt like I could put them on, wear them throughout the day, and then feel slightly dressed up later in the evening. So these have 3, and I really like here they've got this cushion in the back, so that way the heel, one isn't popping out. I'm a little bit of a toe walker, so I really appreciated this little bit of cushion. So when I tightened it, it kept my heel nice and locked in, but also it just made my feet were comfortable throughout the day, and comfort is definitely of the utmost importance. So definitely stoked on these strappy sandals, and yeah, just really excited also that they're investing into using recycled materials. All right, right, we're down to our third pair of sandals here, and these are the Astral PFD Webbers. So for me, Astral is a great outdoor brand, but they also, like Keane, are investing into recycled material. So the price point was, again, a little higher. These were the most expensive spend out of all three of the shoes. Their upper canvas is all actually recycled. So like Keane, I didn't have as much of a hard time spending the money on them, just knowing that this company is investing into using recycled products. So for me, that is just a big win. There's a couple, different unique features when it comes to these particular pair of sandals. Notice the buckles on them are a little bit bigger. Part of that, I think, is the fashion style, for cranking it down and tightening it. I also think the bigger buckle allows these straps to stay kind of locked in so they don't open and slip as much as you would think. I don't know if that's the size or just the style that they went with, but for me, I was kind of happy to see, because I have very wide feet, so what ends up happening is once these get wet, I was concerned that this would start slipping and making my foot loose, but that was not the case. The buckles actually stayed well locked for the duration of the time that I was wearing them. The other thing that was a huge bonus for me with these particular sandals, these Astral Webbers, is they use their G power, or whatever they want to call the bottom. Their soles are the same soles that are on their river shoes. So the grip on these shoes was by far the most superior out of all three sandals. These are the same soles that I actually have on my river shoes. That's what I'm jumping on rocks in the river, slippery rocks. All of it has really great grip. So I ended up wearing these probably the most out of all three pairs here in Uganda, because my days usually consisted of working at the nonprofit clinic, walking around through the villages, and then going kayaking. And so for this shoe, I felt the most comfortable going from one place to the next without having to switch, because I knew that I was going to be comfortable, but I also knew that once I got to the river, I was going to be safe and in control climbing in and out of the rocks thanks to these soles. Comfort-wise, again, I have wide feet, so for Astrals in general, I normally go half size up. I don't even know. These ones I ended up getting in my standard size, and I think because of the canvas and the buckle, I was able to loosen it enough where, it wasn't too narrow for my feet. It actually fit me just right. So very excited to see that these shoes were true to size. Again, I really like the backing in the sandals here, because as a toe walker, it's really important for me to feel snug so my heels aren't just popping out when we're walking throughout the day. Very excited to get to test these out because I ended up losing my booties as well while I was here, so I ended up wearing these kayaking as well. And so for those of you that like to go kayaking or rafting, these are a great option for when you're hitting the river. All right, stoked to have test all three pairs of these sandals, 3 different price points, 3 different companies, and 3 different functions when it comes to all of them. So depending on whether you're looking for cheap, lightweight, go with the Teva. If you're looking for something that has a little bit more of a fashionable sense to it, definitely check out the Keane. And then if you're looking to hit the river like me, or you're looking for some extreme adventure, definitely check out the Astrals, because to me, all 3 of these had their purpose here on my visit, but at the same time, I'm a river girl, so I'm gonna put these babies on, go hit the river. Be sure to give us a like or follow down here below, and follow along for some more tips, tricks, and gear reviews coming to you soon.